Sage is live on the program from Houston, Texas. Glad to have you on the show. He's a sports consultant. UEFA is at loggerheads with FIFA over footballing, decisions. Donald Trump's involvement with Fulani Balogun's situation is one of the many other matters UEFA is unhappy about. These are two top bodies governing football. What impact will these disagreements have on the game? Dr. Patrick.
Look, clear answer, absolutely nothing. Look, FIFA is the number one, UEFA is number two. UEFA runs a Champions League, and their Cup of Nations is the second best footballing event in the world.
True.
But, the World Cup is still number one. Now, what's going to be the impact? Nothing. They're going to have a disagreement. Now, a lot of the things that happen here, the problem people are having is that they think world football is becoming too Americanized. But I don't see it that way. What I see is trying to change a few of these grounded traditions that we all believe should never be changed. No, that's not the way you market something. You start to market to a younger crowd. And I think what FIFA is trying to do with some of these new innovations is to market to a younger crowd, because you need to look. The traditionalists of footballs are going to move on. They're going to get old, they're going to pass away and all that. You need a younger crowd that will continue to enjoy this sport. And if some of these new innovations is what is going to allow people to continue to watch football and enjoy it as well as we do, you're going to have to make some of these changes. UEFA is just being, we don't like certain things. The Balogun situation, then remove the Article 27. It's as simple as that. Article 27 allows FIFA able to do that. Remove Article 27. That's all I will say about that. Just remove Article 27. And then nobody can make use of it.
All right. Well, a lot of talks about the halftime show. Views have been divergent about that. A couple of footballers have also reacted, saying that was crap. 27 minutes of football at halftime. Many thought it was needless and, extravagantly stretched. What are your thoughts about that? For FIFA, it showbiz. It's about making the money.
No, I don't think it's about making the money in this case. This is more about trying to satisfy really your biggest audience, which is the US. This is, our biggest sporting event, or the biggest sporting event anywhere in the world when it comes to what people watch is the Super Bowl. 100 million people on TV watching it. Now, we're used to a 30-minute break from a normal 15-minute break in a regular American football halftime. And, there are people that don't even watch the game, but that watch the performances at halftime. Now, that is pure Americanization of, world football. Now, did I like it? No. Even for the Super Bowl, that's the time I get up and go do other things, go into the study. I'm not interested in watching someone when I've been watching people hit themselves for the past 30 minutes and I want to watch music. I'm not interested. But look, that was pure an American culture they're trying to bring into it. Will it work? That's going to depend on who's hosting.
Okay.
The host country might, feel that they need to
something
promote
like that.
Someone. Yeah, that'll be fine. But I don't think it has come to stay.
Okay. All right. UEFA supported the expansion of the World Cup from 32 to 48 teams. But with the current, issues with FIFA, the suggestion of a 64-team tournament may not get a nod of UEFA. 48 teams across 3 nations was successful. Do you think 64 team, as projected by FIFA, will be asking for too much?
No, look, 64. First of all, look, we need 64. If that will get Nigeria into the World Cup, hey, we need 64. We need 64. We haven't been to 2 World Cups, so maybe they add some extra slots for Africa, which they definitely will do. You see, 64 is not a bad number. That will create 16 venues. And that means there'll be less traveling in the first round, because that means a city would host, one of the 16 cities will host a group of 4. You understand? All they really need is a couple of very good 45,000 stadium in that city. So I don't think 64 is going to be a huge leap. It will actually be better for arranging, instead of us having this third place calculation and all that. We just know the top 2 are going into the second round. So we go straight into the round of 32 again with just the top 2 from every state. And you're going to still play the number of games, which will be 8, in order to win the World Cup. So I don't have a problem with 64. And like I said, I like 64 because it's almost a guarantee that Nigeria will make it. I'm not, I'm not going to cross my finger. I think that's going to be a guarantee that Nigeria will then be at every World Cup going forward.
All right, the Super Eagles have promised all that whether it's 64 or 48, they will be at the 2030 World Cup. We keep our fingers crossed for that.
They told us that the last time. We heard someone tell us that, the president is going to be in Qatar. He's the best friend to the emir of Qatar. Buhari will be there and all that. That didn't happen. They said, Nigeria will be in America. Can you imagine Nigeria playing in Houston or Atlanta? Which is funny. Yeah, if Nigeria had qualified, they would definitely be playing in one of those two cities. But you got to qualify. You got to make arrangements to qualify.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Dr. Patrick, before the tournament started, you confidently said the violence and shootings in the US, Mexico, particularly, would cease for the tournament. And so it happened just the way you said it. Were your projections based on intelligence, cultural sentiments, or you thought football, was very much bigger than any kind of crisis?
Look, the North American culture is really a culture of entertainment. Look, the Mexicans know how to party. The Canadians love their country. Americans obviously love their country. And they were going to portray, they were going to host people. Look, and nobody saw any kind of rowdiness or any kind of problem at the stadium or even at restaurants. Look, Boston was full with people drinking and all that. And there was absolutely nothing that happened. People were happy being there. Now, you said, is it intelligence? No, I don't have intelligence. I've just lived amongst those people for the last 30 plus years. Mm-hmm. And I seem to understand. They bring in people, they love their country. They like to show off their country. And they were always going to show off their country in good light.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Patrick Omosagi live on the program all the way from Houston, Texas. Thank you so much for your time on the show today. Thank you. All right, the World Cup featured spectacular set-piece moments with only